is Ashley Bearfield, and I work for the Girl Scouts of Eastern South Carolina. And thank you for joining us with Girl Scouts Connected with our partnership with Girl Scouts of South Carolina Mountains to Midlands. I right now live in Charleston, South Carolina. Can you all comment where you all are from? First one was Spartanburg, Columbia, Lexington. These are all in South Carolina. Greenwood, Houston, Texas. Very cool. Beaufort, Pennsylvania, Virginia, more South Carolina. Wisconsin, yes. You should send me some cheese curds. We got Orlando, Florida. I'm originally from Florida, so I'm glad that we have some people from my home state joining us. California, oh my goodness. I've lived in California once. Michigan, very cool. Okay, so my next question is comment with your favorite book. It can be like an actual like kids book that you were read to like as a kid, like as a child that your parent read you or your someone read you, or it could be something like an actual book that you read now. Twilight, yes. Spirit Animals, that's a great series. Pride and Prejudice, that's great. Never read the book, but only seen the movies. The Red Queen series are amazing, yes. Percy Jackson is great. Harry Potter, see a lot of those. There we go. There's a lot of books that I don't know about, like Wings of Fire. I don't know what that is. Manga. Clover in Wonderland. Don't know what that one is either. But my favorite book that I read while I was in high school that I had to like actually read for a grade was The Great Gatsby. I do love the Divergent series as well. I love Twilight. I actually went and saw all the Twilight movies in the theaters at once. So I spent over 10 hours in a movie theater. I know it's a movie, not a book, but Lauren, I see your face. I know, it's crazy. But that was when I was in college. I was a huge Twilight fan, big Edward fan. I'm also a Hunger Games fan. Anyone else read the Hunger Games yet? Anastasia, I see you raising your hand. Very cool. All right, so I gave everyone an extra 3 minutes, so we're just going to go ahead and start. Like I said before, for those who are just joining, my name is Ashley, and I work for Girl Scouts of Eastern South Carolina, and thank you all again for joining us for Girl Scouts Connected in partnership with Girl Scouts of South Carolina Mountains to Midlands. We have girls on here from all over the country, from Michigan to Virginia. We had some from Florida, California, Texas. We've got a lot going on here. So thank you all for joining us today. So today we're going to be working on a few steps to our book artist badge for cadets. So our, oh, Judy Moody. I have not heard that book in a long time. Okay, so today the badge requirements that we're going to be working on are going to be steps 2, 3, and 4. So the purpose of the badge is as you complete this badge, you will know how to make different kinds of books. So I know we were talking about like storybooks before, but now we're going to be talking about actual books and like how they're made. So step 1, which we're not going to actually cover here today, but when I send out the email this afternoon, there's going to be a link where you can virtually explore the Library of Congress. So after you do that, you'll be able to earn your step 1 of this badge. Has anyone ever been to the Library of Congress? I see Shirley has. I have not been. However, I've watched a lot of movies that have the Library of Congress in it, and it looks amazing. So step 2, this is going to be the fun part. I hope you all ask your parents or whoever you're with, whatever adult you're with, to have an old hardcover book. So I got a book that I bought. I've never actually read it, but it's called A Dangerous Place. I think I bought it in a bargain bin somewhere. But anyways, we're going to take this book apart. So as you can see, there are, well, first off, there's different types of books. There's hardcover, which is what we have right here. Then there's paperback, which a lot of our books are in. But then there's another form of paperback, and it's called mass market, and it's like the thinner version of a paperback. So hopefully some of you all have seen those. So if you don't have one, you can definitely come back and do this later.
Ashley, Samantha is raising her hand. I think she has a question.
Okay. Let's see where Samantha is. Can you unmute her, or Samantha? Either Samantha unmute yourself, or if you could put your question into the comments and we can answer it. Because I can't see Samantha on the screen. Let's see, I'm looking. Is it Samantha McDonald? Oh, there we go. I see her. I'm trying to unmute you, Samantha. For some odd reason, Samantha, it won't let me unmute you. Okay. Well, Samantha, if you could type it in the comments, that would be great. I'm sorry that we couldn't unmute you. Okay, so I wish. Okay, I do know the story of the warrior cats. I saw that last comment. That's a great series as well. I worked at Barnes & Noble when I was younger, many years before actually I worked for Girl Scouts. So I'm very familiar with a lot of the young adult and kids books. So like I said, we have a hardcover, and we have within the hardcover, you'll see that this is what we call an end paper, and then on the other side is the cover. And then for our headband, this little part right here, it literally looks like a headband. And then on the inside, this crease right here is called the hinge. So what we're going to do is we're going to very carefully take scissors and cut. I'll show you on my camera first, because when you see cut, we're not going to actually open the scissors and cut like that. We're going to actually just like kind of scrape it across. So I'm going to put my camera down so you all can see. So like I said, we're going to be very careful about this. So I open my scissors so I can just use this point, and we're going to cut it. Another thing that you could use is an X-Acto knife. However, a lot of us don't have those at home. So you'll see right now that I literally have cut this, and you'll see that there's glue on the inside. It's like sewn. Can y'all see that? So there's basically what it is on the inside is cardboard. So you'll see on the inside is that, like I said, it's cardboard, and it's also a lot of glue. So some older books have a lot more stitching on the inside. You'll see right in here, it's kind of hard to see. All right, guys. You see right here, there's stitching. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to cut that stitching more. And like I said, please be very careful. I know y'all are in middle school, so hopefully you all have done a lot more work with scissors. Okay, so I have mine completely ripped apart, as you can see. So now you can see the inside of a book. Now, if you're really strong enough, you can try to rip it more. Or you can also go to the other side, the back of the book, and do the same thing. So that's what we're going to do here. Okay. So after you do both sides, your book cover should literally come off. So your pages should be completely out. So technically, I could still read this book if I wanted to. I could also take hot glue gun later and put it back in if I wanted to. But right now, we just have the cover of the book. So one of the cool things that I've seen about book covers like this is that people can also turn this into like a box, and then you can at some point like put it on a shelf, and it will be like a secret box where you can hide things in. So now you can definitely see like the stitching of the book and how it was torn apart. And like I said, in older books, there's a lot more intricate stitching. You can actually probably go on YouTube and find like how people stitch together books. But yes, I can put this back together, like I said. I can just hot glue it back together and it'll be good as new. Okay, so I know that was kind of upsetting for some people. Put the book back together. Yes, I will put it back together. Yeah, I see that there's some people in here that have a lot of stitching. Yeah, a lot of people have too much stitching. Like I said, this is I don't know when this book was made, but it had more glue than it did stitching. So I hope everyone's staying safe with their scissors. And like I said before, that also you could use an X-Acto knife, which I didn't list in here for things you will need, but it is also really helpful that if you had one of those. Okay, so I know that people are still working on taking apart their books, but we are going to go on to the next step. You can come back later on as well and take apart your book. I would also love to see pictures that you all can email to me later on. So we're going to go on to step 3 now. So step 3 is we're actually going to make a book now. So there are many different methods on how you can make a book. You can make one, of course, just, folding paper together and stapling it. Like I know that we've done that before, and like we'll turn in like packets or booklets to our teachers like that. Or you can also glue them together. As you saw when we took the other book apart, that you can stitch it together. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a stitch technique for this. So there are many different ways you can do this, but what I suggest is that you can just have regular hole punch paper like this, and we can either stitch together with these holes, Or you can, you know, fold it some more, and then you can take a hole puncher like I have here, or a big, I have a letter or a big paper puncher too. Or you can take one of these like big paper punchers like this, if you have one of those. But we're just going to use this one because this is what a lot of people have at their house. Or like I said, if you don't have one at all, you can just use normal loose leaf paper or pull it out of your journal. So I'm just taking a few pieces of paper. I'm going to just fold it in half, hamburger style. I don't know if y'all still say that, but that's what I say. And then as you can see, as you can see in this picture right here, that the holes are, there's some that are close together and some that are far apart. So I'm going to do ones that are close together. Okay, so I have two holes that are closer to, and like I said before, if you don't have a hole puncher, you can just use regular loose leaf paper like this as well. And then we're going to tie the holes together so the papers won't come apart like that. So what I'm going to use string that is like, you know, that you would use to make friendship bracelets. You can use other type of strings. Also, you can use shoelaces as well. I've seen a lot of crazy ways of how you can tie together books. So as you can see in these pictures, or in this picture right here, that there's braided together. However, we don't have enough time in this video to sit here and braid a whole entire friendship bracelet type of deal to tie things together. So I'm just going to take two colors, this like red and blue, and we're just going to cut them the same length. It doesn't matter what the length is as long as it's long enough for you to tie it into your book. So here I have two strings that are the same length, cut them. And now you'll see me just tie them through. Okay, so I have them through, and you can tie this in many different ways. You can continue to stitch it back and forth. And when I mean stitch it, I mean, I guess weave it through.
Can you pause for a minute and show us what you've done so far?
Okay, so I have weaved it through and weaved it back through. So you'll see that on one side, it's just one straight line. And then on the other side, I have my strings coming back through. And for time's sake, I'm just going to tie this into a pretty bow. Now you all can go back later on and you can also, you know, braid it if you would like shown in the picture, or you can make more holes and make the bounding longer. So since I have it tied, it won't come apart.
Hey, Ashley,
Yes.
can you go back through and repeat the steps again? There's a few that are asking if you could repeat the steps again.
Okay. So what I did is I'll get some more paper. I took some loose leaf paper. So like I said before, you can use ones that are already hole punched. Or you can use an actual hole puncher like this, or you can use a big paper one like that. So I'm just going to use the little one. I'm going to fold the loose leaf paper hot dog style or hamburger style. It's just like a booklet, and then you can put the holes as far apart as you want or as close together as you want, but I'm going to put mine close together. So then you should have 2 holes, and then you will use friendship bracelet making string. And like I said before, it can be whatever string you want. It could be a shoelace. It could be a fishing wire string. And then of course, you'll just want to make sure that you cut them the same length. And then we're going to do it again, where we just thread the string through. So we have it through one way, and then we're going to weave it back through, taking the opposite side of the string and weaving it back through. So then you should have your strings sitting on the outside like that. And then, like I said before, I'm just going to tie it, for time's sake, into a cute little bow. And there you go. So I technically have 2 books now that are both tied. And you'll see that it's tied together so you can't take the pages apart. And then you'll see in the middle of the book, you can see where this would have laid flat. So you can see for the creases right here. And then that's that. And now we've made our own book. Let's see, let me look at these comments here real quickly. Okay, so if I had more time, I would definitely make something prettier like the ones on the screen right there. You can also use a construction paper as well, and you can put like a pretty cover on the outside of it. Later on, you can go back through and make something with the book as well, like a journal. So that's why in step 4, we're going to focus on function. So this part you'll do on your own after this. So you can turn your book into an organizational book or a scrapbook, memory book, a journal, or you can also like make it into a recipe book, and you can also give it away as a gift as well. So just depending on what you make your journal into, that's what you can, you know, give it away as a gift. This would also be great for Mother's Day, which is coming up in just a few weeks as well. Yes, you can also make cards like this as well. Okay, so our last step that we're going to do. So the reason why we ripped the book apart, I know it was kind of, it was pointless maybe to you all, but for our badge, it required for us to take a book apart so we could see the inside of a book. So it's just part of the badge. That's why I suggested that you all use a book that you all don't use anymore, or something that's super old, or like I said, I got mine from a thrift store for super cheap. So it was all done for the badge. So for the last step, what we're going to do is we're going to make something that is like a pop-up book, but it's just going to be one pop-up. So how many of you all remember pop-up books as a kid, like when you were younger? I see Shirley raising her hand. And Mila, I see you raising your hand. Has anyone seen those really fancy pop-up books of the Harry Potter ones that have like the actual pop-up castles and such? So what we're going to do is we're going to just take a piece of paper, and like I said before, it can be any type of piece of paper. However, this time I'm going to use computer paper just because it's a little bit thicker than loose leaf paper. So what we're going to do again is we're going to fold this into a hamburger style once again. And then you'll see, just like the picture on the screen as well, that we're going to make 3 boxes. So it doesn't matter if your boxes are small or big. We're just going to do 3 boxes. So this is the part right here that's folded, and this side over here is the part that opens. So it kind of looks like a birthday cake or the side of a present stacked up, or staircases, however you want to see it. Okay, so you should have those. And then what we're going to do, just like you see in the picture, is we're going to leave the tops of the boxes attached. So we're just going to cut to here, and then to here, and to here, and then I forgot this one over here. So I'm going to cut these. You should have just cut on the lines that we drew on. So you should have like little flaps. So you can also do this with different designs as well, where you can do, I've seen some like ones that resemble like the Empire State Building. So you can make your your indentions more like rugged looking, or you can make it more of like a Christmas tree. So then when you open this up, you're going to fold it to like where the lines, like fold it into the middle like this. Try to get it as close to the line as possible. And then the same thing over here. You'll see where we cut right here. So you'll want to fold the paper to that line as much as possible. Okay. So now you'll see that this can be indented. It can be like indented, and then if you want later on, you can go back and can color this to make it look like a birthday cake or presents that are stacked up on top of each other. You can also put another piece of paper behind it, and then you can also, you'll be able to see the colors through it. And I just wanted to give you all some simple steps on how to just start with a pop-up. Okay, so I see that some people want us to explain it again. So what we did is we folded it, and you can see where I drew the lines. And then we just cut along the lines. And then we folded it. So if we wanted to, like it, as you can see, it just pops out. And now you can color this. You can make it look like a present or a birthday cake. I saw someone on here, they've done this before for birthdays. You can also put a colored paper behind it so you can see color through it. You can also, if you wanted, you could cut like little circles here. So you can also see the other color behind it if you wanted to. Anastasia, I see yours. I see you're using a pink paper. I like that. That's very cool. That's great. I see it. Very good. And I see Mila, you're working on yours. Let's see. There's a person who doesn't have their name up on there, but it's Galaxy Tab A. And I see a ceiling fan. I see that your paper's on there. That's really awesome. There's a lot of other people who just have their cameras off, so I can't really see everyone's. Okay, were there any other questions? Because we're pretty much done with those. Let's see. So you can go back and color it now or later. So this would also be great as you're getting ready to prepare for, there's a lot of stuff coming up like Mother's Day and Father's Day, and there's graduation season that's coming up. So I know that you all can make pop-up cards like this as well. That would be really cool. I know a lot of people enjoy homemade cards. Bellatrix, I love that idea, how you're going to be playing Sleepy Beauty Waltz on your violin for your mom. That's going to be great. And that'd be great if you made a card as well like this. Very cool. Okay. Oh, Neela, that looks great. I love it. Very cool. Well, when we send out the final email with the instructions again on how you can earn this and the video from today, you can also email us back, and we would love to see your pictures from today. So if there's no other questions, then we will be signing off. And don't forget to tune in next week, same time, 10 a.m. Eastern time, next Thursday, and we're also going to be doing another cadet badge. So this badge is the book artist badge, and I'm not exactly sure what the badge is for next week yet. Hold on, let me look real quickly. I don't have it written down. Actually, yes, I do. So next week's badge for cadets is Science of Happiness. And we will be emailing the steps for this badge out later on this afternoon. Okay, everyone, so I'm going to be ending this now. Thank you all so much. And y'all are awesome, and we will be talking to you all soon. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day.